Welcome. I am Dr. Leslie Austin, the Rockport Fulton Superintendent, and today we'll be diving into understanding school finance. I've created this slideshow and we'll be creating more to promote financial transparency of our district and ensuring that our community understands how RFISD allocates resources to support student success and maintain full responsibility. We will be taking multiple financial documents and providing a student-friendly, staff-friendly, and community-friendly finance summary. So where do we find RFISD financial documents? There are two places on our district website, first under District Financial Transparency and under Support Services Business Office. You will find all of our compliance documents from adopted budget to tax rates to financial audits and to budget calendar. In this video series, we'll be talking about revenue, expenditures, and budget development. We're going to start with revenue. RFISD has multiple revenue streams. It's kind of like the ocean. Multiple rivers and streams all lead to the ocean. So, what are our streams? We have local property taxes. We have state revenue, which is support provided by the state of Texas to supplement local efforts. We have donations and local grants. And we have federal grants. Those are funds provided to support specific programs and initiatives. If you pull our multiple years of financial audits, you will see our total revenue sources. You can look back to 2019, 2020, and go all the way to current year. We are projected at M&O and INS. Now let's talk about the green column of maintenance and operations. That's where we spend a majority of our money on our daily operations. The rest of our revenue has a lot of rules and expectations of how we spend the money. The majority of our funding, actually 69%, comes from our local property taxes. We are allowed to levy two taxes. One is called M&O, Maintenance and Operations, and one is called INS, Interest and Sinking. A quick description of M&O is the daily operations and salaries, utilities, and resources we use to instruct children. INS is the debt on our school bond payments. Our total for this year is 78 cents. Sometimes community thinks that we can take money from INS and use an M&O or vice versa. That is not the case. The two revenue streams must remain separate. Looking at the historical tax rate of M&O and INS, the total of both of those in 2020 were 116, and now this year are 78 cents. This is due to the compression of our M&O tax rate. Our M&O tax rate, when our local property values go up, the state of Texas compresses what we are allowed to levy in the tax of M&O. Our INS is determined by our Board of Trustees. You will see that we had a jump in 22 to 23. That was after we passed our school bond of 2022, resulting in our new facilities at Fulton and soon to be online, our high school renovations and addition. This year, our revenue is predicted to be $38,172,316 in our local revenue, our M&O. Let's talk about M&O. What's in M&O again? Well, our maintenance and operation taxes are a crucial part of our school district's funding, and they provide the revenue needed for daily operations and essential services. These funds are used to cover salaries and benefits, classroom instructional materials, utility and facility maintenance, transportation, student programs and services, safety and security, and professional development. Essentially, the M&O tax revenue ensures that our schools can function effectively on a daily basis, meeting both operational and educational needs. So once we receive the revenue, we then spend it. So first, I think it's important to know we categorize how we spend the revenue. We categorize it by object and then by function. Our object codes, as you see on the left of our screen, and on the right is the function of how we spend the money. The total proposed expenditures for 24-25 are $43,927,944. What does that look like by object code? Well, the majority of our expenditures will be spent on payroll cost, which is 62%. 15% will be sent back to the state for recapture. What's recapture? Recapture is money that we collect for revenue from our local property taxes, but when we go in excess of what is allowed by the state of Texas to educate our students, it's called local excess and entitlement. The state of Texas takes it back and recapture. Then we have contracted services, other costs, and debt services. If you want to find the historical data by function of what we have spent, I have put this table together, or you can look on our support services under our budgets and look at those audits, but here are our expenditures by function. If you ever want to see per student cost for expenditures or in our revenues, you can always look at TEA's Office of School Finance, Forecasting and Physical Analysis, and look for Rockport Fulton ISD. That number up there, 004901, is our RFISD ID number. So how do we budget? Where does that start? Well, we do have a budget development process, and it starts with creating a budget calendar that outlines key steps and timelines. This calendar ensures that we stay on track, we involve staff and community, and review everything carefully before presenting to me, the superintendent, and ultimately our board. After setting the calendar, we move into the next steps: planning programs, estimating cost, and ensuring our resources align with district priorities and goals. The process ends with adopting a budget in August that supports student success and uses public funds responsibly. So where are we? We're finishing up March and beginning April. So, a lot of information in a short amount of time. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and Ask a Pirate at rfisd.us gets us those email questions. And thank you so much for supporting us, helping our students start here and go anywhere.